The festival on the Theresian visa.
The festival of the what?
Oh, boys, you know this festival as Oktoberfest.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, and children over the age of 21, welcome to the Hop Nation USA podcast. As you can probably tell, I am not your host, Sam. However, I am your host, Adam. And unfortunately, Sam is not with us this particular episode. However, that's okay, because we still got Steve.
You sure do.
And honestly, if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be happening in the first place.
Because I'm the only one who knows Adobe Audition.
Pretty much.
Can you believe that piece of shit, Sam? He takes all that time off and then goes on vacation.
Right. Does he not know that there's a podcast happening?
Yeah.
Slacker.
Oh my god, he's lucky we don't get paid for this.
I know. Yet.
Money.
Well, when that happens, we'll be getting 80% and he'll be getting 20%.
As soon as we get that Blue Apron sponsorship, they're going to be telling him where he can and cannot be.
I don't care if it's Blue Buffalo money, as long as it's good money. That's dog food, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was just about to ask. I'm like, what the hell is Blue Buffalo?
It's dog food. Apparently it's supposed to be really good. I don't care about dog food, though.
I'll hawk some dog food. I don't care.
Yeah, go dog food.
Yeah.
What I do care about this evening is beer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually a very special time of year.
That's right. Shrimp Fest is back.
More importantly, on a more international level,
Mm-hmm.
Oktoberfest is back.
Yeah, okay.
It is.
Okay, yeah. I guess it's also Oktoberfest.
It is also Oktoberfest. So honestly, it's pretty much our duty to cover Oktoberfest.
I think so, yeah.
We kind of have to. We enjoy it.
Well, we kind of have to for a number of reasons. One, we enjoy Oktoberfest. Two, we're located in Pittsburgh, being a very heavily German town.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And three, it's kind of ingrained in my blood, so...
So, yeah, we kind of got to talk about it. And it seems like a fine enough episode to do it because when this episode comes out, Oktoberfest is going to be up and running.
If you're listening to this episode when you're supposed to, every Friday...
That's right.
You're going to be right on the cusp of Oktoberfest.
Yep.
Starting tomorrow. And they make the parade through Munich
Yes.
and then tap the keg.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
You're ruining things.
I'm not ruining things. I'm giving a preview of things to come, Adam.
Is true. I guess I don't really have to say it, but I'm going to say it anyways. This is Oktoberfest. This is our Oktoberfest podcast. So, of course, we're going to be drinking Oktoberfest beers.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's get into our first Oktoberfest beer. Steve, what do we have?
Well, our first Oktoberfest beer is going to be the Old Zahm from the Market Garden Brewery out of Cleveland, Ohio.
I have never heard of them. I have never had any of their beers, so I am quite anxious to try this. I'll be perfectly honest.
I've had a couple beers by them.
Well, apparently they were good enough for you to pick up another one.
They've done some hit and misses, so I'm willing, but I figured I'd introduce you to a brewery while we introduce.
And I do appreciate that, and I don't know, I might be able to do the same with you with one of the beers that I brought.
Maybe, possibly. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see later in the episode.
I hope to think that I did, but I have a hunch that I'll be wrong because you are the man of 1,000 beers. Ooh, that's a good title. The man of 1,000 beers.
I'm farther along than that.
I know.
Anyway, though.
Yeah, okay. But the man of 1,094 beers just doesn't have the same ring.
True.
So I'm liking the man of 1,000 beers.
I don't know. I like 1,094 though, because that's like Chris Jericho. He was the man of 1,004 holds.
Oh, jeez.
That made him better than Dean Malenko.
Moss-covered, three-handled Grisinda, something or other. Armbar.
Back to the beer. It's coming from the Market Garden Brewery, like I said, out of Cleveland, Ohio. It's got 6.5 on the ABV there.
It's a little high for an Oktoberfest beer,
right,
for a Marzen, but that's still within reality.
Yeah, it's a little high, and they even mentioned it on the back. Well, not on the back. It was actually on the website. They said they wanted to go bigger. They didn't want to do like a little namby-pamby one.
Okay, and I can appreciate that.
And that went along with their why it's called the Old Zahm.
What is an old Zahm?
Okay, so a ZahmStoudt is a piece of equipment that actually measures the carbonation in the brew kettle.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yes, they apparently this brewery uses a very old piece of equipment that's been passed down through generations.
Oh, so that is their legacy.
Yeah, so they figured classic piece of equipment, go for a classic Oktoberfest.
Makes sense to me.
Made sense to me too. Good for them.
And hopefully this is good for us as well. Taking a look at it, it looks like an Oktoberfest. It's got that classic copper look to it.
Yep. Very red copper.
Very little head on it.
Very little head.
Big malty smell to it. Malty nose to it.
Nose.
I have to be correct about this. But no, it smells, it looks, and let's hope it tastes like an Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it definitely has that big malty nose.
Yeah.
We did the episode 20, I believe. That was our lager episode.
It was, and I'm definitely getting some lager.
Right. Well, I mean, when we're talking Oktoberfest beers, they are traditional lager beers.
Right.
Because they are Marzen beers.
Correct.
Which are, from the name, Marzen means March.
Right.
So that means these beers are brewed in March and they are unleashed on the world in fall, September, for Oktoberfest.
Correct.
And that's why if a beer is called Oktoberfest, it's brewed in that traditional manner.
Yes.
And that it should, well, it at least should be brewed in March in spring.
Right. Now a lot of that was based on the lack of technology.
Right.
Back in the day, you had to have that long of a lagering process. Nowadays, you can shorten that up.
You can, but that's not traditional.
Right. If you want the traditional style, you'll have to brew it in March, let it ride through the summer, and then mid to late September, boom, unleash it on the world, as you stated.
Which is different from what we see with normal Vienna lagers nowadays. Vienna lagers are commonly year-round.
Right.
So that's why if you see a beer that says Oktoberfest, you should hope.
Right.
And even more so if it says Marzen on it.
Yes.
You should hope that it has been brewed in the traditional style as compared to other lagers which are brewed
year-round.
Year-round,
And and they can use a lot more modern technologies, a lot more modern facilities, whatever else you want to call it. Ways and means, I guess.
Ways and means.
Yeah. That sounds right.
But that little framework gives you an idea of that this episode is going to be all lagers.
Right.
And that this beer specifically is pretty much a very traditional lager.
Right, and it definitely has that lager feel to it.
Yeah, it's got a big malty mouthfeel. Again, because it is 6.5%, it's a little bigger.
Yes.
Like, it's definitely bigger than a Yingling or
right. And
something
thank
like
God Sam isn't here for you to say that dirty word.
Yeah, well. Don't need a 5-minute tirade about how bad
know.
Yingling is, but it's a much bigger mouthfeel. There's a little bit of spice in there, but not too much.
No, it wasn't overpowering. This is a beer that I can enjoy a liter of.
Yeah. Definitely.
Which is good.
So before we get into the episode, Prost.
Prost. While we sit and sip on this, I think we got to take a small trip in a Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
For me and for you, because we both had a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, we both did. We had pretty big weekends because last weekend was a pretty big weekend for beer fests.
Actually, just Pittsburgh in general.
Yeah, Pittsburgh in general. Yeah, if you go back to our last episode, we went over how big it...
Right, and there was stuff that we missed.
Yeah,
There was still stuff that we missed.
Yeah, we couldn't get to everything.
Right.
Can't be everywhere.
So the two events that we were really looking forward to, for me, was one of the biggest beer events in Pittsburgh throughout the year is the Big Pour.
Yeah.
Always held at Construction Junction over on the east side of the city.
Yeah, where are they into now? Was it 10, 11 years?
I can't remember if it's 10 or 11. 11, I believe.
Okay.
I think it was 11.
Yeah.
So it's been around for a while. This is not the first time that I've been to the Big Pour.
Nope.
And it won't be the last either.
So I assume you had a good time then?
I did. I had a good time. For those that aren't aware what the Big Pour is, it's essentially an event to help subsidize Construction Junction.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is it is a giant facility where during reclamation projects for all the old homes in the city, all your old doors, all your old cabinets, all your old toilets, all that stuff that is still in good shape, but you're just replacing it because it's old, you send it there. And then somebody else can come along and say, I really like that toilet. I'm going to put that in my house.
Yeah, it's good for DIY people.
Correct.
Do you remember, what was your favorite beer?
I had 2 of them.
Okay.
And they were, fortunately, both Pittsburgh-based breweries. Pittsburgh area breweries, I should say. The first one actually came from, and this is the first time that I've had any of their beers, was actually from Bloom Brew.
Okay, I don't think I've had anything by them yet.
No, they're on the southeast side of the city, down around New Stanton. And they had a fantastic, it was a rye beer. But what was really nice about it was it had that big bready taste to it, but it was still very sweet as well.
Okay.
It was just so good. I was a huge fan of this beer. That was one that I try to try one and then go back.
Right, yeah.
That was one I tried a couple times.
You tried a couple times?
I tried it a couple times, yeah. Yeah, I was a big fan of that one. And the other one, and this is unfortunate just for me personally, is that both of these breweries are on the wrong side of the city for me.
Yeah, east side so far. What's the other one?
The other one is Fury.
Okay.
Fury Brewing.
I've heard of them as well. I haven't had anything by them yet.
I know Sam has been there. I know he's enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They had another one. It was called their Captain Rumkin.
Oh, okay.
It was a pumpkin beer.
Yeah.
And it was a pumpkin beer, and it was fermented in
Rum barrels, I'm assuming?
rum barrels from it was made with rum. I don't know if it was in the barrels or with just straight rum. I don't know, from Maggie's Farm.
Oh, okay.
A Pittsburgh distillery, and they also used vanilla beans and spices and things like that. This is a very hard thing for me to say. It blew pumpkin out of the water.
Okay.
I mean, it was fantastic.
Hey, I'm willing to believe it.
It was so
until
good.
I have it myself.
Right. It was so good. The flavor was absolutely perfect. It was a big, just bold beer. Oh, I drank it and I had a moment. I'll be perfectly honest.
All right.
I sipped it and just sort of, and I kept going back to it. And it was one of the best pumpkin beers I've ever had.
Okay.
Which is saying something, because I've had some really good pumpkin beers.
Yeah.
But that one was fantastic.
Yeah, I have a very, very short list myself of things I find better than pumpkin, but I'm willing to audition new ones.
I have my own opinion on pumpkin, because I was able to have their 2017 version earlier that weekend.
Yeah.
It's kind of starting to go downhill.
Okay. I mean, you can say that.
I don't say that lightly.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Pumpkin is shit.
Wait a minute.
Adam has gone on record. He says pumpkin is shit. Don't drink it anymore.
You just have to try it yourself. That's all I'm going to say about it. Just try it yourself, form your own opinion. I won't get into that because I could be talking for hours and hours and hours and hours on that.
Yeah, it's probably another episode, a pumpkin episode, maybe.
Yes. Bottom line, great beers, great event. I'm sure they had great food. Didn't eat any.
Oh, really? That's usually like a big seller of that.
I was too busy drinking beers.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's not that I didn't want to eat it.
Yeah.
I had too many places to go.
All right.
Too many different options to check out, and I enjoyed it greatly.
Good.
So how about you? I understand that you had a pretty solid weekend as well.
Well, I didn't go to the Big Pour because I went to a competing, I guess you would call it competing, maybe.
I guess, yeah.
But I went to the competing event, Brutal Beer Fest, as we'd been talking about 2 episodes ago, and then talked about last episode, and I'm going to talk about it again now that I've actually been and enjoyed it.
And from my perspective, I'd have been there myself, but I already bought the tickets for the Big Pour.
Right.
And I already knew the Big Pour was going to be a good time.
Right.
So I kind of committed there.
That's fine.
And then I found out that it was the same day.
Yeah. But, that's a really good event. It's really unique, and I'll probably be frequenting it as much as I can.
So I did have one question for you.
Yes.
I understand that it was part beer, part metal.
Right.
Was it more beer or was it more metal?
It's pretty even.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even the beers were metal though.
Right. I understand there were a lot of collaboration beers there.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get right into it, Full Pint, it pretty much killed it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to give a special shout out to Full Pint. They had 3 beers there that I'd never had before. Well, 2 beers that I'd never had before, but the other one was the Berliner Weiss, the Ale Satan.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
But
all 3
are really good.
Yeah, all 3 of their beers were themed.
Oh.
For the event.
So were they were a single batch for the event?
I'm going to guess so. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, not single batch for the event. There is one that they're kind of sending around on tour in a way.
On tour?
Well, remember Nick from Black Forge was talking about they're taking a beer. They were taking a beer on tour, right?
Ah.
So the one beer they have is the Luxuria.
Okay.
It's a coffee IPA.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that.
It was good.
Oh,
It was
okay.
good. It was very good. But that was brewed with Black Forge coffee
Makes sense.
and in partnership with Full Pint.
Awesome.
Full Pint also had the Ale Satan, and then they had a collaboration beer with one of the bands, I believe Solar Burn, and it was called Horn of the Minotaur.
Ooh, that's a good name.
It's a good name. It was a really good beer too.
Oh,
it
all
was
right.
a spicy cayenne stout.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I can get behind that.
yeah, it was really good. It was actually more spicy than the Ale Satan. So,
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because the El Satan was good on multiple levels, where it had that tartness, it also had that peppery to it.
right.
But I can understand with the stout, you kind of gotta stand up a little bit more on the pepper side.
Yeah.
And apparently,
And
that's what
they
they
did. They did. And that was a really good beer as well. Wasn't my favorite beer though.
What was your favorite?
I just like the fact that Full Pint represented Full Metal.
They brought the ruckus.
Yeah, they brought the ruckus. My favorite beer was a collaboration beer that was there, and it was the Rock Bottom See You Next Tuesday collaboration.
Okay.
Meg Evans had brewed 2 beers, the Alpha and the Omega, and the Alpha was a rye
Yes.
made with coffee. It was a coffee. She had a coffee rye and a coffee stout. The Alpha rye wound
Alright.
up being probably my favorite beer.
And that was a rye with coffee in it.
Yeah,
That's an interesting combination.
and it was really good.
That's awesome.
The coffee flavor was extra strong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, oh boy.
So, how many total breweries were there? How many beers were there?
there were 30 breweries.
Wow.
Breweries / other representatives of alcohol. Like Apis Meadery was there.
Okay.
Maggie's Farm Rum was there.
Gotcha.
And Wiggle was there.
Oh,
as
all
well.
right.
Yeah. I mentioned specifically that Wiggle and Maggie's Farm Rum were there
Yes.
because I had 2 things from them that kind of blew my socks off.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Wiggle, they had just like tasters of some of their,
Just sort of
fine
quick
selection.
little hits.
Yeah, just quick little hits, not even a full shot. But I was standing around finishing up a beer, and I was looking through their menu, and I was talking to the guy, and I said, hey, I really love to try the absinthe, And he's like, oh, I just happen to remember that I have some here.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah. He pulled out a 5th and gave me some of that, and their absinthe is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he did, was it just a straight little shot? Because I assume he didn't do the whole thing with the
No,
apple spoon and the sugar and
no. It was
lighting
just
it on fire.
no, it was just a straight shot and then like a little ice cube to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
To send it through the process, but yeah, it turned a little milky.
Okay.
As it should.
Right.
But he was explaining it's more of a blue absinthe than a green absinthe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a difference.
It's just dependent on the ingredients used.
All right.
Yeah. The other thing that blew me away a little bit, but I kind of wish I had a Sprite.
Okay.
is Maggie's Farm Rum was distributing a ginger and clove and kind of lemon lime liqueur.
Oh, all right.
It was really, really good.
Was it kind of like a thick consistency, like a liqueur?
Yeah, it was a liqueur, but it was syrupy, So I thought it tasted really, really good, but I kind of just wanted to dilute it a bit.
Yeah, you gotta cut it.
Yeah, into like a soda or something, or even just seltzer water.
Make it manageable.
Yeah, it was a little bit too.
Because those big syrupy liqueurs, you're not drinking that all night.
No.
No.
But overall, yeah, the entire event was great. Baroness was amazing. The other bands that played were fantastic. I don't have anything bad to say about it.
Were there any bands that you kind of discovered that night that you kind of dove into their catalog a little bit more afterwards?
I would say so, yeah, actually, because I never really heard of the band Byzantine before.
Nor have I.
And they were actually a late addition to the lineup.
Are they a Pittsburgh band?
No.
Or are they kind of a national, regional band?
Yeah, they're more of a national act.
Okay.
But they were added to the lineup late because I believe another band, Black Crown Initiate, had to pull out.
All right.
Yeah, they had to pull out. So Byzantine was added to the lineup, and I tell you what, they're kind of a good jam. Like,
Right on.
it's just like
Now, when you say good jam, are they more? I assume you don't mean like jam band.
no.
That does not seem like the right venue for that.
No, it was much more along the lines of just kind of. It's not like black death metal.
Gotcha.
It's just, a little bit more harder than a Testament, I would say.
All right.
So, something you could listen to.
Sit back on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, something you could listen to.
Okay. I know that was supposed to be kind of insulting, but I kind of get it.
It's not meant to be insulting. It's just, I know you're not going to sit down with, like, Pig Destroyer or anything like that.
Correct.
Yeah. So, no, this is manageable. This, it sounds like music for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a truck full of cymbals crashing into a lumber.
It's not hate noise.
But yeah, it was a great event. Can't wait for it next year.
I assume there are plans for it to happen next year?
I mean, they're talking about it.
I hope so.
And yeah, I'm hoping it makes its way back.
Same here. So yeah, it was kind of funny. All of the things we were talking about happening in last episode, I kind of mishmashed the two of them together.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the Big Pour late
Okay.
because I was watching the Pitt Penn State game,
Yeah, well.
and I was okay with that. That was a conscious decision
Yeah,
of I got to split these two a little bit.
right.
So I made it till about the end of the second quarter, and then split down to the Big Pour.
Fair enough.
And I don't regret that decision, and I'll tell you why. Number one, got to watch some of the Pitt Penn State game. Number two, there was no line to get in the door.
That's fair. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Just here's my ID, here's my ticket. Okay, here's your glass, here's your little glass holder thing.
Yeah.
Get in there. Okay, get in there. Started texting friends. Where you at? Okay, met up, and then boom, off we went.
That also kind of makes sense as to why you didn't have time for food.
Yes. But like I said, that was a conscious decision, and I'm kind of okay with that.
That's fine. So yeah, we definitely had some big weekends last weekend, but coming up this weekend,
What's next?
Oktoberfest in Pittsburgh.
That is correct. This is the official start of the Oktoberfest season.
So in Germany, it officially starts this weekend,
Correct.
and Pennsylvania is not one to shy away from doing things correctly. And Penn Brewery will be kicking off its annual Oktoberfest
Yes.
fun and games
Yes.
as well this weekend. So the Penn Brewery Oktoberfest, that runs September 15th through the 17th, and then the following weekend of the 22nd to the 24th.
And I believe that the Hofbrauhaus down in the south side has a very similar schedule.
Probably. Would not be a surprise.
Yep.
I have actually never done Oktoberfest at Hofbrauhaus.
I have. I've been more in the beer garden than the beer hall.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's pretty much like any other big Saturday night down there where
Yeah.
everybo's having fun, everybody's having a good time.
Right.
It's just kind of cranked up a little bit more.
See, that's the thing. I that's probably why I never went down, because it's just like I've been to Hofbrauhauses enough
True.
that I know what an Oktoberfest
True.
experience is going to be like there.
Right. Well, for me, the Hofbrauhaus is one of those places where I'll go once, twice, maybe 3 times a year as kind of a treat. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
I don't go there once a week, once a month, something
No.
like that. I don't think that's sustainable.
No, well, yeah, that's not sustainable.
So that's something that you get a big group of people together. You got a couple designated drivers, and you go down and you do it upright.
Yeah.
Because that's what you have to do there.
Right.
You can't half-ass it at a place like that.
No. You should be, if you don't drink 3 liters there, you should.
Well,
Just not
you
really-
can drink 3 liters.
I can drink 4.
I know, I've seen it. I've also seen the aftermath.
Well, hey. So another event that's pretty big around Oktoberfest, down at CityWorks in Market Square
Okay.
on 21st of September, they're going to do the Stein Heist.
Okay, what is a Steinheist?
Well, it's that annual event involving Sam Adams and their Oktoberfest beer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And you're required to hoist a 1 liter Stein above your head and hold it there as long as you can.
Oh, screw that noise.
And you're not allowed to drink from it.
Screw that
You're not
noise.
allowed to bend your arm.
Screw that noise.
I'm just saying that these are the rules of the game.
Can I just stand there and drink?
Well, you can do that too.
I'm going to do that instead.
But if you want to be a part of this and you want to try to win, and if you become a winner, you get to go all the way to Boston and participate in the national finals of the Stein Heist.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd be about that.
And then if you win there, which is like October 27th or whatever.
Okay.
If you win there, then you get to go to you get to be in Sports Illustrated.
What?
Yeah,
Sports Illustrated?
yeah,
That's a thing?
right.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Huh. Still not gonna do it. But still
I'm
neat.
just saying, of course.
You should do it.
Well, no, neither of us have been training, so
You got this.
I don't think I have the willpower to not drink it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
What if you had like a straw?
No, you're not allowed to reduce the weight inside the stuff.
Well, that's bullshit and I hate it.
And even though it's not an official Oktoberfest event, Southern Tier will be holding their Pumpkin Fest on the 23rd of September.
I understand that that is a field trip.
It could be a field trip, but we can also just go down to the tap house.
Well, no, because I believe what they do as part of that is they have a tour bus set up where they'll actually take people up to the Lakewood, New York Brewery and do some of the Pumpkin Fest activities up there.
Okay.
And then bring you back downtown.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a double-faceted event. Yes.
So that's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Yes.
As far as I knew, they were just doing $5 drafts on Pumpkin, Warlock, and the Cold Brew one.
No, and I don't want to do that because $5 pumpkins, warlocks, and cold pressed pumpkin is a dangerous combination.
That's a good time.
The good people of Uber would definitely be getting my services.
Yeah, well, maybe they can use their damn shuttle that they're driving all the way to Lakewood to drive everybody else home.
I would appreciate that, I'll be honest. So it's good that there are still plenty of events, and there's a ton more that we could get into, but we don't want to because then we're starting to get too far out.
Yeah,
But-
we're getting too far out, but Pittsburgh is doing their Oktoberfest properly. I've seen, though, a lot of cities, they're waiting.
Until October proper?
Yeah, like September 30th.
Well, they're doing it wrong.
I
And
know.
I'll explain why in the second segment.
Okie doke.
Good. There is a method to that German madness.
There always is.
Yeah.
Everything in Germany is engineered very properly.
Yes, yes. Speaking of engineered properly, that has nothing to do with this beer, but that's the best segue I can come up with.
Are you sure that has nothing to do with this beer? I think this beer is pretty well engineered.
It's not engineered, it's crafted.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The Old Zahm by, what is it, Market Garden?
Market Garden Brewery out of Cleveland, Ohio.
OHIO. I'm digging it.
I'm digging it, too.
I'm digging it.
It's just a very classic Oktoberfest. It doesn't go too far out of the wheelhouse on anything.
And that's kind of one of the problems. And it's not really a problem that I have with it. It's just that I can't really explain it more than it's a classic Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and I think maybe the other Oktoberfest that we'll have in this episode might help differentiate this one.
Possibly.
But this one is the perfect middle-of-the-road Oktoberfest.
Right, right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there really isn't.
So,
I would have a number of these, we've already said, we'll have a number of liters of this.
Yeah,
one. So,
exactly.
yeah.
So that's honestly just that is praised by not saying anything at all.
Yeah, it's a glowing review to this point.
Correct.
Now, if something comes along that's better,
So
we'll
be
say
it.
it's better. And if something comes along that's worse, we can easily go back to the old Zahm
Yes. Yes.
as home base and say, this is good.
This is my happy place. So that's it for segment 1. Segment 2, I know we've been talking a lot about Oktoberfest. I'm going to learn you a thing or two.
I'm going to get learnt?
You're going to get learnt.
Shit, yes.
L-E-R-N-T. Learnt.
Yeah.
About Oktoberfest.
Good. I'm
That's
dumb
it.
as hell. Let's go.
You're not. You're not. You got to believe in yourself. So yeah, we'll see you guys back in segment 2 with a fresh beer. See you then. Welcome back, Hop Nation. During the break, Steve and I got into an argument. Turns out I'm right, he's wrong. Find out why on Twitter.
But I'm the one who controls the Twitter, so I think it'll turn out to be me being right.
No, I feel good about this.
Okay.
Let's see how this works. So welcome back. We are, of course, talking Oktoberfest, which means, of course, we are drinking Oktoberfest beers.
Yeah.
So it is now my turn to bring one to the table.
Yeah.
And I have. This is actually a Pennsylvania beer instead of from Ohio.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't got much argument there. My only argument was going to be there's Germans all over both.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Well, as long as this isn't Man in the High Castle, we'll be okay.
Yes, that's a good show.
It is a good show. I enjoy it.
Sort of.
This is the Oktoberfest from the Stout Brewery. They're from Adamstown, Pennsylvania. That's actually just outside of Reading.
Okay.
So South Central East Pennsylvania.
South Central East.
I don't know.
I'm a beer drinker, not a geography expert.
It's in that weird area between State College and Philadelphia.
Right.
That isn't Harrisburg
Or the
Enola,
Poconos.
or Enola, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, or the Poconos.
Or the Poconos.
Or the Poconos.
So this is another classic Oktoberfest coming from Stouts. This one is a little bit lighter than the one we had from Market Garden. I keep wanting to say Market District.
Well, I know, yeah.
So I'm going to have to put a swear jar here because I know I'm going to say it at least once.
That's fine. Probably at the end of the episode.
Probably. This clocks in at 4.5% alcohol.
He's just a little fella.
So it's not nearly as heavy as that one. This also comes in at 24 IBUs, which is to be expected. Those are the big
Okay.
the big numbers on it.
Okie doke.
That's about it.
Pop the top, see what happens.
The top. This definitely has a much more malty smell to it.
So yeah, again, we're working with this one's a little more on the orange copper than the red copper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still definitely in the same realm.
Oh yeah, still we're working in the exact same area as, Oktoberfest lagers.
Right, we're still in the same portion of the color wheel.
Yeah, you're not going to hear a whole lot of difference on that, but
No.
yeah, you just said it has more maltiness and it sticks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sticks out a lot more.
And that's not a bad thing.
No. But we'll see how it tastes though.
Yep.
Now that's a really malty beer.
This is malty, and honestly, I'm really liking it. This is big, bready, smooth. To me, it's really smooth.
Like in the past when we've had big malty beers, I've not necessarily been the biggest fan of that. But this one's smooth enough that I'm not very up front. It is very bready and very malty.
Yes.
But on the back end, it's so smooth enough. So I'm ready to flip over the handlebars.
And then it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I wanted to go off. I want to pop off and yell about it, but then I just kind of it chilled me out.
It eases back in. It lays you into that bed of feathers. And what else? The other thing that I really like about it is even on the aftertaste, it's kind of got a sweet aftertaste to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a real sweet aftertaste to it. And I guess that's maybe why I haven't just completely
been mad about it.
Right, I haven't been mad about it. I haven't gone off the rails about it.
We can actually thank Carol Stout, the head brewer at Stouts.
Okay.
Which I can't imagine how she got a job there. But
nepotism.
Fun fact, as I was looking through getting some information on this beer, she is the first female brewmaster since Prohibition.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know how they verify that.
I don't know how they verify that either, but
that is their claim, and I can't say otherwise.
Okay,
so neat.
That's their claim. I guess nobody sued them over it yet.
Right. So that's a neat little fun fact.
That's like Anchor saying they're the first craft beer since Prohibition. So,
right.
Yeah.
I have no ways or means to say, "Nah, you're wrong."
Right.
So I had to believe it.
Yeah. I guess it's just a bunch of other brewmasters being like, I'm a guy, so I can't say anything.
I don't know enough about stars, Charlie.
Can't argue.
On this beer, yeah, I'm digging this beer a lot.
I'm not, I don't know, I'm not digging it as much, but I'm not mad at it, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, for you, I'm okay. As long as you're not mad,
yeah,
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, we've gone off the handlebars a couple times on other lagers on this show, so.
I know which one you're thinking of, because it's the same one I'm thinking of.
Now it's two.
I was immediately going to the mother lager.
Well, yeah, that one immediately is trash.
What was the other one you were thinking of?
Last week's with the Devil's Backbone.
Yeah.
That one.
That didn't have nearly the same impact as the mother lager.
No, but it was also just the same kind of unbalanced poo-poo fucking beer.
Wow. Okay. I don't think I've ever heard those words together in that order.
Yeah, well, you need to get more head injuries, and
I guess so.
You can string those kind of words together.
So let's talk Oktoberfest to completely shy away from that conversation.
You want to talk about CTE? Fine, let's talk about Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is a German festival.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, it is in Bavaria.
Yeah.
As you can tell, just by looking at the bottle of the stout, it's in Bavaria, as noted by the blue and white checks.
And the lederhosen.
There's also the Lederhosen. That is correct. That is correct. The first Oktoberfest, I'll just blast through this stuff pretty quick because everybody should know this. First Oktoberfest.
I don't know if everybody does know this.
First Oktoberfest held in 1810.
Okay. So that's more recent than I think most people would think.
Yes.
Honestly, I probably was still thinking it was a 1640 type of deal.
You're probably thinking of some of the older, like, beer gardens and beer halls.
Right.
And we'll get into some of that a little bit later.
Okay.
But this one was actually in 1810, and it was to celebrate the marriage of the Bavarian Crown Prince Ludwig to Princess Therese von... Oh, shit.
Let me see if I can do it.
If you can read that, go right ahead.
Let me see if I can get these words.
Top right. See?
Yeah, your writing is terrible, so...
Yeah, but I can read my writing.
I understand, but you still can't read the words.
Schomburgenhammer?
No.
Thies
Thies von Scheissen. Nope, that's shit. That's just the word shit.
Yeah, don't make fun of the lady. All right, I can get this.
You can try for it again.
Saxon Hildburghauser.
Okay.
Hildburghauser.
Hilberthauser.
We're going to call her Therese.
Okay, so
Teresa. So Ludwig and Teresa got hitched.
Ludwig, old Luddy and Teresa.
Yes, that's right. They got married, so to celebrate, they started the Oktoberfest.
Okay.
And the original Oktoberfests were actually held in October. And then, I can't tell you when, sometime in the past, they changed it to September.
Okay.
There is actually a very specific reason why it was moved to September.
And why is that?
It's warmer in September.
That's true.
Literally, that's the only reason I can find, and I'm getting it confirmed from several sources.
Yeah. That
the thought process was it's warmer during the September nights.
Right.
People will be out more. People will be more willing to stay out in the beer gardens and drink.
Yeah.
Go late into the evening. So they just moved it to September.
Okay, I mean, shit, you can do that if you invent it.
You can do what you damn well please.
Yeah.
Although it is traditional for the last weekend to be in October, very early October. So that's kind of what dictates the length of Oktoberfest. Now, obviously, this is for the sake of this conversation, we're talking about the Oktoberfest in Munich,
right? Which
is where it is held.
Yeah.
That is the traditional home of Oktoberfest is Munich, Germany, in Bavaria, which is in southeast Germany.
Yes.
If you didn't know that, you know that now.
Now you know.
Now you know. Also the home of BMW.
About 5,000 miles outside of Nola, PA.
The typical Oktoberfest is usually 14 to 16 days long.
Okay.
It is not like what we have here in Pittsburgh where it's just on the weekends.
Right.
It is continuous.
Okay.
It is continuous. Now, there is actually a very specific way that the Oktoberfest is started.
Okay. Why don't you tell us about the opening ceremony?
You mean you don't know about this?
Much like the Olympics.
Actually, it kind of is.
Yeah, no,
it's
much like the Olympics. So please describe to the audience how things get kicked off.
So there are several beer tents in Munich that you would go to, and I'm talking huge beer tents.
Yeah, no, this is like carnival circus folk stuff.
Right. But there is actually one specific beer tent. It is the Schottenhamel beer tent, one of the 6 breweries that is traditionally allowed to be involved in the Munich Oktoberfest. I'll get to them in a little bit. But the first keg is tapped by Munich's mayor.
Okay.
At which point the first beer that is drafted is presented to the minister-president of the state of Bavaria.
Oh.
Yeah. At which point Oktoberfest has begun.
Oktoberfest can commence.
Now, this is where I learned something. The minister-president of the state of Bavaria is the equivalent to a governor here in the States.
Okay.
Kind of makes sense.
All right.
But yeah, because I had no idea what the hell a minister-president was.
So it was almost like if Penn Brewery had to present a half-gallon milk jug to Tom Wolfe.
Right.
Before we can all have one.
The traditional style of serving of the beer, the big 1-liter mugs.
Right.
Now, the 1-liter mugs, and I almost got into a bit of a tirade when you were talking about the Steinhoist.
Yeah.
The traditional Oktoberfest vessel is not a stein.
Yeah, no.
Because a stein is made of stone, of masonry.
Yeah, it's stone. It's got a cap on it.
Right, and that is not what you use in a traditional for a traditional Oktoberfest drinking. That is actually called a Mosskrug, or Moss for short.
Okay.
And what's really nice is it has that neat little BS thing. It's shaped like a B, but it's pronounced like an S.
Oh, it's pronounced like double S.
Yeah. So it's the Mosskrug, or just Moss for short.
Yeah.
That is the glass vessel that you usually see on Oktoberfest.
And at Hofbrauhaus,
I know,
what you get.
exactly.
That's what you usually get
Right.
at Hofbrauhaus.
If you ever been to the Hofbrauhaus and you get the big 1 liter mug, yeah, that is a Mosskrug.
Okay.
Or Moss for short.
Yeah.
So, top tip: whenever you cheers at somebody, cheers with the bottom of your Moss,
Yeah.
because that is the strongest part of the glass.
Right.
So that reduces breakage.
Yeah.
Now there is one caveat to this. If you're going to be drinking your Hefeweizens or your big wheat beers, that goes down into your half liter flute style glasses, kind of like a Pilsner glass.
Right.
So there is a little bit of leeway there, but usually you're going to get the big Stein.
Those would be. Wouldn't those be the Weizenbach glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word. I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
The
what I went
Weizenbach.
with.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are the Weizenbach. The almost vase-like.
Yeah. Traditional, big Moss, 1 liter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the Germans say 1 liter, they mean 1 liter. There's actually a level indication on there. There's a line etched into the glass that says, this is 1 liter of beer.
Oh, they make sure.
They make sure. To the point that if somebody is caught serving a beer in a glass that is either etched too low or does not have the 1 liter level etched into it at all, they are prosecuted for fraud.
Ha.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the Bavarians are very serious about their beer.
I can appreciate them.
Yes. They say 1 liter, they mean 1 liter.
That's good. There's a lot of problems over here. We can barely get 16 verse 12.
I know.
We can't get our shit together on that. So
Let alone a balanced budget, but that's another podcast for another time. So, as I had mentioned previously, there are 6 traditional breweries that are involved in the Munich Oktoberfest.
okay.
One I had already mentioned, the Schottenhamel.
Yeah. Schottenhamel.
Schottenhamel. Yes. Some of the other ones you've heard of.
Okay.
Augustiner.
Augustiner.
Hacker Shore.
Hackerschart. And und Becks.
Und Becks?
Und Becks.
No, they are not. Lowenbrau.
Okay.
Spaten.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Lowenbrau and Hackenshore.
Yeah. Hacker Shore makes really good Hefeweizen. I really like their Hefe.
Yeah.
There are 6 traditional brews that you would be seeing.
Those are the tents that you're gonna find.
Right,
And
right.
those are who you go visit.
And there is one more, the Hofbrau.
The Hofbrau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're traditionally one of the bigger tents there.
Mm-hmm.
The actual Hofbrau house, the one that is actually in Munich, Germany, it actually opened, and I think this is where you kind of got a little construed on when Oktoberfest actually started.
Yeah.
The actual Hofbrau house opened in 1589.
Ah.
Yes. However, it was not open to the public until 1828.
Yeah, that was like a family business.
Yeah, and it was, if I'm remembering correctly, it was actually opened to the public by Ludwig I, who, as you know from previous portions of this conversation,
Right.
he was part of the reason for the creation of the Oktoberfest.
The fella who got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy's got a lot of beer cachet.
Good for him.
Yeah. And so, side note, you know who lived around the corner from the Hofbrau house during his venerable years?
Kurt Vonnegut.
Mozart.
Yeah, same guy.
Same guy.
Same guy.
Same guy. They just maybe changed their wigs a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, there are obviously some traditions that you're going to have. The big food, you're going to have your pretzels, you're going to have your sausages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fish, white fish is actually fairly popular.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to find that out.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Nowadays, to kind of work with the community a little bit more, because now there's more people that aren't necessarily for Oktoberfest for whatever reason. They now have quiet hours for a lot of their tents, where everybody is quiet until 6 o'clock at night, and then game on. So, yeah.
Everybody's a bunch of goddamn complainers.
Listen, I'm not making the rules up here.
I know you're not making the rules. It's whoever makes the rules that listens to the goddamn complainers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So there's just a quick hit of some of the information that I'm sure you already knew about Oktoberfest.
Oh, yeah, I knew absolutely everything that you just read off.
All of it, including the Mosskrug.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's pretty informative there. I think back here in the States, though, there's a lot of Oktoberfest celebrations that are going on.
There is, and as a matter of fact, last week I was a participant in one
Okay.
at, of course, the Hofbrau house.
Yes.
One of their traditions there is on the first Wednesday of every month, they have a keg tapping of whatever their monthly beer is.
Right.
And obviously, since it is September, their monthly beer was Oktoberfest.
Very
So,
good.
And this is the first time I'd ever been to one of their keg tapping events.
Okay.
A couple of buddies of mine went down there, and they said, you got to go, so I went. And they had the full band there.
Yeah, well, I mean, when do they not have the band there?
Right. The full band was there. And what they'll do is the first keg that comes in, and this was actually a true blue Oktoberfest because it was brewed in Germany.
Right.
So it was shipped over here, flew over here. I don't know how they got it here. Boat, perhaps?
Sure, whatever.
So what they'll do is they will actually parade it around the entire beer hall.
Do they roll it?
They do not.
Damn it.
I know. They did play that song, though.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it immensely, and I sang along because I love that song.
Yeah.
So they'll parade it around to the point where they've got the whole band escorting this thing. They've got everybody as part of their mug club. They're celebrating. They're wearing their lederhosen.
So this thing gets a better entrance than Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, no kidding. There's flags. There's this. There's that. There's the other thing. I mean, it is ridiculous.
Good. Okay, good.
So, and then once whoever the dignitary is to tap the keg that month, they tap it, and then first beer's on the house.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So the keg tapping was at 7. We were in line at 6:30.
It's a full wood barrel, right?
Oh yes.
It's not just rolling a keg around.
No.
It's a full wood barrel, and they pop off the.
Correct. It is not a keg of Keystone kind of thing.
Okay. They pop off the bung and.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good proper tapping.
Yes. Yes, it was, and I enjoyed it. That being said, let's talk about the Oktoberfest that we have right in front of us.
I don't know if this has the cachet out the yin yang. I don't know that I'm agree with that.
Okay. Would you say that this is an enjoyable beer?
Kind of.
Okay. I would say it. As a matter of fact, I will say it. This is a very enjoyable beer.
Yeah, you can say it.
I'm going to. As a matter of fact,
I'm not going to stop you.
I just did.
I don't know. Again, for me, whatever reason it is, if a lager isn't completely balanced, I'm not likely to enjoy it.
See, for me, I do enjoy a big malty beer.
Yeah. Well, it's not about the big malt. It's just about whether or not it's balanced. And this one isn't balanced.
Okay.
It starts out with that big breadiness, and then ends on that sweet note.
Yeah.
And that sweet note gets a little sickly.
Huh.
Yeah.
See, I find it enjoyable.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
So for just quick history for my my bias, I guess, is that this beer is a little unbalanced, and I don't care. I don't love it.
Yeah.
I don't despise it or anything,
True.
but I don't love it.
It's not the mother lager.
Yeah. Last week's Vienna lager, Vienna style lager.
By Devil's Backbone?
Right. It was unbalanced and it tasted bad.
Right.
The mother lager was unbalanced and it tasted bad.
Yeah.
The Flying Bison was unbalanced, but it didn't. It's much more like this one.
Right. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, and I didn't hate it, but the ones I've loved so far are this the Market Garden.
You almost said Market District, didn't you?
I almost did. But yeah, the Market Garden one, it was balanced, and I liked it a lot. And the Peter Straw Bridge Top Runner, that was balanced, and I liked that one.
Beer. That was a good beer.
I guess I'm finding that out about myself, that it has to be a balanced lager before I can actually enjoy it.
So we're kind of getting a little Steve insight here.
Yes.
We're getting inside the circus that is Steve's mind.
Right.
I can enjoy that.
As the monkeys jump around on top of the elephants and the tent burns to the ground, I'm finding that I have to have a balanced lager before I'm happy.
For me, I have no problem with an unbalanced lager as long as it is balanced into the malty/sweet arena. I have no problem with that, and I think that's simply just personal taste.
Yeah.
Who knows what would happen with Sam? Who knows what happened with Sam?
I don't know. Sam has mentioned before that he's not a big fan of Oktoberfest beers.
Well, maybe this is a good reason that we didn't do it when he was here.
Nah, I think it's a bad reason.
You're gonna make him suffer.
Yeah, I actually would want him on to give a dissenting opinion.
Fair point. Fair point. So I'm digging this beer. Would drink it again.
I probably have another one. I'm not, but I don't know how many I could have. The Market Garden one, I could see myself doing the 3-4 liters at a half.
I can get behind that.
This one, I don't think I could. I could maybe have a liter.
Well, honorable.
I think that's how I'm judging beers the rest of the night. How many liters can I do?
That's a good system. I like that.
Yeah.
So with that, I think it's time for us to take another break.
Okie doke.
I have no idea what we're doing in segment 3.
Yeah, I didn't tell you. It's going to be a fun game, though.
Oh, boy.
Fun games for everybody.
Oh, boy. So we'll have to crack another beer before we do that. Mm-hmm. And then we'll have some fun games.
Yeah, fun games for everybody.
I'm scared. I'll see you guys in segment 3. Welcome back, Hop Nation. It is time for round 3, or leader 3, to be more specifically,
Willkommen.
of our Oktoberfest celebration. Now that we have had a little bit of history, had a couple of beers, it's time for another beer.
Yeah,
Steve,
willkommen.
what do we have for beer number 3?
All right, for beer number 3, we're going back to Cleveland, Ohio.
Kinda.
Sort of. We are drinking the Fathead's Gesufa. It's an Oktoberfest beer.
It is an October. I hope so. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to skip this one.
Yeah, it's an Oktoberfest lager. Coming in at 5.7%.
Makes sense, because I know that traditional Oktoberfest is supposed to be around 6.
Between 4 and 6.
So we're in good shape.
Yeah. And it's got 25 IBUs.
Very similar to what we had with the stouts.
Right. So it's not going to be hoppy.
Good.
It's supposed to be malty.
Good.
And I assume it's going to have a copper color.
Good.
Yes. So I'm going to crack this open.
Great.
And while I do, I'm going to let you in on a little, a German language lesson.
Bring it on.
So the name Gesufa,
Yeah.
it comes from the German word meaning to drink.
Yes.
And it's actually a command to drink.
Well then,
Yes.
who am I to say no to a bottle?
But commonly, during Oktoberfest, you'll hear people say, 1, 2, 3, Gesufa.
Gesufa. Yes.
Yes. And that's your countdown to 1, 2, 3, drink.
Down the hatch.
Down the hatch.
See, whenever I was at an Oktoberfest activity or some sort of beer hall, I always thought it was Zupa.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong.
I believe Zupa is soup in a different language.
Well then. I mean, it's kind of soup.
Yeah, it's kind of
If you
soup.
really want to stretch the definition.
If you drop a pretzel in it.
Right, which has happened.
Yes.
So guess what? It's
Guess
a copper
what?
color.
Yeah, guess what? It's a copper caramel. And
Malty. Smells, I'm sorry, the nose is malty.
the nose is malty. It's not as malty as the stouts was.
It is not. It is
Yeah.
not. But I think it's a little bit more malty than what the Market Garden was.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's a little more pronounced,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see how this goes. Prost.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
I'm digging it.
I'm digging it too. Guess what? It's
What?
balanced. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
it's-
balanced. It's not too sweet.
It is not. It is not. But it still has that breadiness to it. It still has that malt.
Right. It has the malt breadiness, and honestly, I think it's a little more tame than the Market Garden one.
I think you're right.
It's not. The Market Garden one had just a little tiny bit of spice to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really here, but I find this one very acceptable.
Very acceptable.
Very acceptable.
Awesome. So while we are sipping on this bad mamma jamma, what are we going to do for segment 3?
I want to put your knowledge to the test.
Okay.
If you're going to play a game,
What kind of game?
the game is called Which is First.
Wait. Which is worst or which is first?
Which is First.
Ah, this isn't good.
Yes.
Okay, how does it work?
I'm going to give you 2 things, and you tell me which one is first.
Ah, damn it. Damn it. All right, let's go.
Okay, very simply. Bockwurst or Masenwurst? Which is worst?
I don't know which came first.
No, which is worst?
Which is worst?
Yeah,
They're both worsts.
no.
What are the names again?
Bockwurst,
Yeah.
Masenwurst.
Well, they're both worsts.
No,
Okay. Bratwurst.
no, Bockwurst.
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 No, I'm going with the other one then. That one's worst.
Masenwurst?
Yeah.
No,
What is it?
Bockwurst.
Damn it.
Who's on first?
What's on second? I don't know. Third base.
No, Bockwurst and Marsenwurst.
Oh,
Marsenwurst.
okay. Well, then obviously the Bockwurst is going to be the worst.
No, it's not which one's worst. You just have to tell me which one is the worst.
Yeah, that one is the worst.
Right, Bockwurst is the worst.
Correct. Not the Marsenbach.
No, Marzenwurst isn't a that's not a sausage at all.
Aha, I got you.
Now you're on it.
Oh boy. Only got a couple of days on the team.
Yes. Yes. Bockwurst is veal and some pork, and it's salted and peppered and a little paprika.
Nice.
Usually served with beer and mustard.
So what is the Marzenwurst?
That's nothing.
Oh.
That's why you got to tell me which is Wurst.
Ah, damn it.
One is Wurst and one is not.
All right. Well, all right. Now I'm on the jazz.
Yes. 5 minutes into the game. Now now you can understand the rules.
What a dick.
So yes, I had my time.
Oh, dick around time.
Yep. It's like, well, how can I be a dick to Adam? Well, I can not explain the rules, and I can.
You figure it out on your own damn self.
But yes, for the rest of the game, you will be deciding which one is an actual sausage and which one isn't.
Bring it on. I am no sausage king. I am not Ethan Frobe.
Your next ones are Krankenwurst and Blutwurst.
Blutwurst is the sausage.
See.
Yeah, that's blood. That's blood sausage.
Right. Yeah, that's blood sausage. Usually made from congealed blood from a pig or a cow.
Gross.
And then it's filled with meat and oats and bread.
Who does
Just
that sort of
just
thing?
Kinda,
Just sort of soaks it all up.
right, yeah.
That's gross.
Well, I mean, poor people do, I guess. And
I guess.
poor Germans who couldn't afford the meat can only afford the blood.
Heard of lentils and rice?
Ugh, gross.
Yeah,
I'd
but
rather
it's-
have blood sausage.
Yeah, but it's cheap. All right, what's next? Bring it on.
Your next ones are Leberwurst and Milswurst.
Leberswurst and Millerswurst?
Yeah. Leberwurst,
Ja.
Milswurst.
And the umlaut?
No, I'm not.
Leberwurst is the sausage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also meaning liverwurst.
Ah, there you go.
Yes. And commonly known around here, at least when I was growing up, as Brunschwager.
Yeah, no.
Brunschwager fucking rules.
I'm sorry.
That stuff's great.
I grew up in a Polish household. I'm sorry.
Brunschwager with a little Dijon mustard on top.
Living the good life?
Oh boy.
All right, what's next?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
Do you putt-wurst or tea-wurst?
I always putt first.
Putt-wurst?
I putt first. You see me on the golf course.
Putt-wurst or tea-wurst?
Putt first is the sausage.
No.
Oh.
Tea-wurst is a sausage.
Then what the hell is it?
Putt-wurst is nothing.
All right, then what the hell is the T-wurst?
Tea-wurst is a combination of pork and bacon and beef, and it's air-dried like a salami.
Weird. I can
Yeah.
get behind that.
Right.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's smoked on beechwood,
Oh,
and it's meant to be served at tea time.
really?
Tea-wurst.
Wait, the Germans have tea time?
I guess so.
Huh.
Except for it's even spelled T-E-E.
What?
Yeah, like a golf tee. Hence the putt-wurst.
Ah.
All right. Your next one is Blauwurst or Gelbwurst.
I gotta go Geldwurst.
Gelbwurst is the sausage.
What is it?
Gelbwurst is a yellow sausage.
That makes sense.
Casings are colored in saffron, and it's spiced with lemon, ginger, cardamom, and it used to contain brain, but now it's usually just made from pork, beef, and or chicken.
That's an expensive ass sausage.
Yeah.
It's got saffron in it?
Right.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, the casings were colored in it, so like they probably made like a saffron tea and then. Yes.
That's some baller ass sausage.
Yes. And your final one for Wurst.
Let's make it happen.
Weißwurst or Schwarzwurst?
Schwarzwurst or Weisswurst?
Weißwurst or Schwarzwurst? Wurst.
They're both terrible.
Wurst.
Weisswurst is the sausage.
Weißwurst is a sausage.
Yes.
Weißwurst is actually the traditional Oktoberfest sausage.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It is cooked by boiling, but not boiling.
Is it like a double boiler?
Well, it's more of you have to heat the water to make it hot, but not boil it because you don't want it to break the casing.
Okay. Yeah.
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 So it's boiling, but not boiling.
So very, very hot water.
Right. I think that's blanching.
Maybe?
We're not a cooking show, but I think
is correct.
Yeah. But it's usually served with pretzels and mustard and beer, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course. But this is a very particular recipe and a very particular way of eating it.
There's a particular way of eating it?
There's a particular way of eating your Weisswurst when you're at Oktoberfest.
How does one do that?
You don't eat the casing.
You just like squeeze it out like a tube with toothpaste?
You got it.
Like a Go-Gurt?
Yeah.
A Bavarian Go-Gurt?
Kind of, yes.
Wow.
It's usually made of pork and heavy cream. I don't know at it.
I guess if you gotta squeeze it out, you may as well make it, juicy? Squeezable?
Yeah. It's not that. I don't think it's that juicy and squeezable.
I don't know.
I think it's more of they just want you to bite down on it and suck the meat out. And I know what I've just said. But that's what the websites have told me.
Oh, if it's on the internet, it's gotta be true.
Right?
Well then.
It's also been said that if you can eat it in another fashion of just splitting the casing with a knife and then digging out the goodness with a fork.
Huh.
Yes, but that's how they'll know you're not from Bavaria.
Aha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So is the casing like so tough and strong that you're not like can't eat it, or
It's just it's both tough and strong and just cheap. Like you're not
all right. All right, you're not gaining anything.
Right,
It's not
yeah.
part of the flavor profile.
Yeah, there's nothing to be gained by eating it.
Huh. Well then,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, now you know.
Now I know which is best.
And this was Vitch's Vest.
You should do that again to Sam next week.
Just play Vitch's Vest MVP.
Just play the same exact game with him next week.
Because
He's on vacation.
He's on vacation. He probably won't listen to the episode. I think he's a couple episodes back, so he won't hear this. Yeah.
I think you just do the same damn thing to him next week.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
All right, that was easy.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We'll play as long as it takes him to catch on. So next week's episode isn't actually Vitch's Vest. Next week's episode is just how long does it take Sam to figure out Vitch's Vest.
I'm all right with that.
Yes.
I'm all right with that.
Vitch's Vest.
That was an awful game, and I enjoyed it.
Right?
Once I finally figured out what the hell it was.
Yeah. This is just dumb goof around time. Welcome to dumb goof around time, everybody.
I'm okay with that. I am okay with that.
You know what else I'm okay with?
What's that?
I'm okay with this beer.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Like I said, as we've already established, if it's not balanced, I'm not liking it.
However, it
But
is balanced. The
This is,
Gazufa.
yeah. Just to remind everybody, yes, we are drinking the Gazufa from Fathead's Brewery.
And this is one of those breweries where I don't know if I should consider them a Pittsburgh brewery.
I don't.
I do to a degree.
Yeah, I know you want to, but like you can only hold on to something so long.
Sometimes you have to let it go.
Yeah.
If you truly love it, set it free.
Right.
So Fatheads, they're actually celebrating 25 years in Pittsburgh right now.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So 25 years in the South Side, obviously on the 1800 block of Carson Street in the South Side. If you've never been there and you're in the Pittsburgh area, go there. The beer is good. The food is good.
The food is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
If you've never had a Fathead's head witch, you are in for a very special treat.
Especially if you've been in Pittsburgh and you've never gone there, like you've lived in Pittsburgh and you've never gone there. Well, that's just a shame.
Yeah, that's just sadness. That's really sad.
Yeah, it is.
I will go on record and say, if you have to choose, you get a Fathead's head witch, not a Permane sandwich.
See, I have a little bit of disagreement with that.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
How's that?
In terms of food and taste and all that stuff,
Yeah.
100% agree.
Okay.
100% agree. If you have somebody from out of town and they want what people would consider the Pittsburgh experience, you take them to Permane's. If you have 2 meals available, take them to Permane's, then take them to Fathead's for a good meal.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
If you can do a Permane's lunch, that's fine.
Yeah, go to Permane's for lunch, go to Fathead's for dinner, have a couple of their beers, have a big old head witch. Their chicken wings are pretty good too. I'm a fan of their wings.
Yeah, never had.
They make a pretty good wing.
Sure. Yeah, I just as a native, I'm more willing to say I'm willing to bypass a Permane's.
I have done that.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah, I'll bypass the Permane's to go for a head witch.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is definitely the superior sandwich.
This beer is superior to the last one, at least. I haven't decided if it's superior to the Market Garden, though. I am enjoying it, though. It's like I said, like we already said, it's balanced, and it's also got that smoothness.
It does.
I feel like it's more smooth than the Market Garden, but I feel like the Market Garden might have been a little more flavorful. So I'm torn, but what are you thinking about the Gazufa?
Gazufa, it's fine. Right, Gazufa. For me, I like this beer. It is a very well balanced beer. It is. How do I want to put this? malty without being overbearing, and I like that. It doesn't necessarily have that sweet end note that the stouts had. It is balanced, and I thought the Market Garden, I almost said Market District there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Market Garden was a little bit on the more sharply tasting lagers, if that makes sense. Not bitter.
Right.
It's not a bitter beer by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely a more distinct taste, where these two are much more mellow.
Okay.
And I'm kind of liking the mellow taste a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm digging a mellow beer.
I get you.
Yeah.
This is much more of a relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay, yeah.
Would I have a liter of this? Yeah. Would I
Yeah.
have
Oh,
multiple
yeah.
liters of this? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And damn it, it better be up to that line. 'Cause otherwise, I will get the Germans after you.
I'm suing everybody for fraud.
That's right.
I'm gonna just carry a liter around with me.
Well, I mean, you gotta do that. You gotta have that, calibration leader.
You gotta keep people honest.
Yep.
That's important.
That is important.
That's important. All right. Well, we've all enjoyed these beers. I think
All two of us.
all two of us. I think maybe it's time to put them on the podium.
This one's gonna be kind of tough.
I'm feeling that too.
So I'm gonna let you go first.
Sure.
I can go first. I'm fine with that.
I'll go first. I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. I can do it.
All right.
I can do it because I can say bronze is easy for me. The stouts.
Okay.
That one is that's bronze for me.
Wow,
I've
okay.
already. Yeah. I mean, not that it's a bad beer at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really easy for me to say that I don't like how it's unbalanced, and I didn't care for the sweet back end on it.
I got you. So it wasn't necessarily not true to the style.
Right.
It just wasn't to your taste in terms of balance.
Exactly. It wasn't to my taste in terms of balance and sweetness.
So-
I didn't care for the sweetness either.
It walked up to the plate with 2 strikes on it already.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
but it's still not a bad beer. It's still
No, by any stretch of the
it's still better than some of the other lagers that we reviewed on the show.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I even like it more than the Flying Bison one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's some pretty good praise in and of itself.
Yeah. I would just say it just doesn't compare as well to the other 2 beers that we had tonight.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
Yeah. It's not a super knock on them. It's
All
just-
were good, some were better.
Yeah. But if we're doing liter rankings, I would only say this is 1 liter beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
1 liter for me.
That's a 1 liter beer.
Yeah, 1 liter. Silver, I'm gonna put the Gesufa.
Okay.
Yeah. I really like it. It's super well balanced. It's just like you said, it's a more mellow beer.
Yes.
And when I'm thinking Oktoberfest, I'm not necessarily thinking mellow.
That is true.
I'm thinking big polka music, and I'm thinking steins and liters and
Steins?
steins and liters.
Steins?
I said steins and liters.
They don't use steins, man.
You can use a stein.
Nah, you totally can.
You can use a stein.
You totally can.
But I'm thinking both of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Moscow.
Yeah. You got the Muskrut and you also have the steins. You can use both.
True.
Because they also use Weizenbachs. I don't know why you're being a gatekeeper of glassware, sir.
Yeah, I kind of am. I kind of am.
Stop gatekeeping. But yeah, I'm thinking of big party atmosphere. I'm thinking of clanging glasses
On the bottom.
on the bottom. Keep it safe.
Safety first, kids.
Don't spill your beer either. And the Gesufa is just not that.
Gotcha.
It's a very mellow beer, and I would probably have 2 or 3 liters of it.
So you say
At
this is
Oktoberfest.
a 2 liter beer?
Yeah, 2 or 3 liters.
Okay.
2 or 3s. And I would have it with some good vests.
Yeah.
But I feel like because it's so mellow, it doesn't give me the energy.
Gotcha.
I kind of want those sharp and slightly sharp and slightly spicy flavors.
Those kick-ups.
Yeah, I want those kick-ups to help my party experience along, not just kind of like a mellow.
I gotcha.
And I feel like because it's a mellow beer after 2 or 3, I'm definitely gonna have that tongue fatigue.
Yeah.
And I feel like this might just bring on more fatigue
Okay.
by being so mellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. So I guess that brings you up to the 3 liter entry for the evening.
Yeah, I'm going to be going for the gold now, and that's going to be the 3 or 4 liter beer, and that Market District Oktoberfest.
Oh, there it is.
The old Zahm.
You called it Market District.
Oh, fucking butts.
Yes. Put $1 in the swear jar.
Damn it.
Yes. I knew somebody was going to do it.
Yeah. The Market Garden Brewery from Cleveland, Ohio.
Just think of the Netherlands when you think of Market Garden.
Yeah. That Oktoberfest it's again, it's really well balanced, but it has those little extra kicks that the Gesufa, it just didn't. And so that's why that's my goal tonight.
Okay.
Adam, rankings.
Well, for me, I'm going to go a lot different than you.
Okay.
For me, the Market Garden, which is one of the World War II operations in the Netherlands. In case you ever watched Band of Brothers, you'd know that.
I did watch it. I don't remember that, though.
Yeah, that was when they were in the Netherlands.
I don't remember.
It was after D-Day.
Yeah, I'm sure about that.
Yeah. So for me, the Market Garden, their Oktoberfest, that goes in the 1 liter category for me. That is their bronze. I liked it. I didn't love it.
Okay.
I guess I'm kind of finding something out about myself as well, is that I do enjoy the sweeter side of things when it comes to the lagers.
Mm-hmm.
I do like it a bit unbalanced into the sweet direction and into the malty side.
Okay.
And this didn't necessarily have that.
No, it didn't.
It was not on the sweet side.
No, it wasn't at all.
So that puts this in the bronze category, the 1 liter category.
Okay.
To get into the 2 liter, the silver category, this is where things get a whole lot tougher. Because the other 2 beers were definitely on the sweeter side.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes things a lot more difficult. And I believe that what I'm going to have to go with is I'm going to have to put the stouts in the silver position.
Okay.
The Stouts Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. That's all there is to it. I liked it. It. Like you said, it was unbalanced, but for me, it was unbalanced in a good direction. I liked that sweet kick at the end. I know you're not a fan of that. I am a fan of that.
Okay.
I do enjoy that. And that's what made it really tough against the Fatheads. However, if I'm going to be drinking 3 or more liters of one of these in a night, I got to go Zufa.
If you can go full Oktoberfest, you
Right.
go Zufa.
Right. And that's exactly what I would be going for. I really like this beer.
It's a really good one.
And it just goes to show you that, yes, Fatheads can still brew really good beers. Not that anybody was doubting it.
Yeah, who the hell ever said that otherwise? You're throwing shade when shade wasn't even...
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of create drama. It didn't work.
No.
Like at all.
Oh, boy.
Bottom line, all three of these are good beers.
Yeah, all 3 of them will definitely serve you well
Yes.
through the next month or so.
Right.
If you're tired of pumpkin already.
Right. and I think kind of going back to these rankings, I think what put the Fatheads in the lead was it kind of bridged the gap between the 2 other beers. It rode the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So it did everything well to take first place. That's all there was to it. And I appreciate that.
It was also, I mean, you're speaking middle of the road. It was middle of the road on ABV as well.
Yep.
It was only 5.7. The Market Garden is 6.5, and the Stouts is 4.4.
4.5.
4.5.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and the same way with the maltiness, same way with the sweetness, same way with the bitterness is not even
They're
registering on any of these.
no.
But it just kind of did everything well.
Yeah, it just was in the middle of everybody. So
Yeah. So it wins.
that makes sense.
Yep. Well then, I believe that was a successful episode. Unless you got more to talk about.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing else. I'm ready to go get some bratwursts.
Well, before you do that, you got to do your due diligence. We got to get our social media plugs in.
I gotta get some vests in me.
This is the worst.
You're the best.
You are.
You're the best. Well, I guess I'll do my due diligence. I'll do my duty. Duty.
Diligence.
Stupid. If you want to find us on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA, and that'll get you Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you want to listen to brand new episodes of the Hop Nation USA podcast every Friday
At noon.
or earlier, if I put it up earlier,
I know, but I just wanted to say noon.
it's always on noon.
It feels good. It feels good, man.
Again, you can find us on iTunes and Stitcher and Podbean and Google Music Play. And you just have to search Hop Nation USA on any of those platforms, and you can listen to brand new episodes. And if you want to email us about Oktoberfest and Oktoberfest goings-ons, or what else could they email us about?
Pumpkin Fest.
Pumpkin
Fest. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, if you want to tell Adam to stop bragging on pumpkin and calling it shit.
Oh, come on now.
No, Adam went on record, segment 1. You can rewind the episode, and Adam said pumpkin is shit now.
Wait a
Don't
minute
drink
now.
it.
Wait a minute. You're putting words in my mouth again.
Nope.
I just said it wasn't as good as years past.
Exactly.
And-
Shit.
and-
But if you want to email us about why pumpkin isn't shit,
Please do.
like Adam said it
oh,
was,
come on.
just email us at hopnationusa@gmail.com
All right.
and address it Dear Adam and say pumpkin isn't shit.
Dear Adam, you are the best.
No. We've never gotten that email.
Well, I'm going to write that email.
Okay. Why don't you ask your brothers to write that email?
They wouldn't do that.
You're a bunch of jerk-offs. Why don't your mom write that email?
Jeez. I think we're good here.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be back next week.
Hopefully with Sam.
Hopefully with Sam.
I think so.
And we'll play Vitch's Vest.
We have to play Vitch's Vest.
Vitch's Vest.
All right, Hop Nation. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.
Guten Tag. Guten Abend. Guten Nacht.
Guten Abend?
Guten Abend is good morning.
Well, it could be the morning.
Yeah. Guten Abend.
No, that was Guten Morgen.
I think it's both.
No, I always went Guten Morgen.
Maybe Guten Abend is good afternoon.
Maybe?
And then Guten Nacht.
Guten Nacht is good night.
Right.
Yeah, Guten Tag is good day.
Yeah. Maybe Guten Abend is good afternoon.